ProWrestlingSheet.com.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Raw Recap on the Pro Wrestling Sheet. I am your host, John Rocha, joined by a little bit under the weather, Ryan Satin, who is rallying to come in here to do the show before he goes to urgent care, because that's how much he loves you all, and that's how much he enjoys doing the show.
So if I burp or anything, I'm sorry. It's because I'm holding back from throwing up. If I'm out of energy, it's not just because I did enjoy Raw, but I might be a little less energetic and long-winded than usual because I definitely feel like garbage. I woke up feeling like I was going to throw up, and it has not gone away. So I tried to sleep for an extra hour. I was like, well, maybe if I took a shower, I did everything, and then I was like, maybe I just need to go back to sleep. Maybe it'll go away. It didn't. No. Still sick.
It's got to go through your body, man.
I know, but we missed all those shows from when I was sick already once.
After WrestleMania,
I couldn't let it happen again. So let's get into the show.
I like you rallying here. Let's hope you don't crap your pants like CM Punk did after that Z-Pack on Smackdown.
I hope not.
Let's do this thing. All right. Well, Seth Rollins kicks off Raw this week with Triple H. Kind of interesting to see this kind of all come full circle. Remember when Rollins turned on the Shield and was goaded by Triple H to do so. Plan B. But now we see them all kind of pseudo-face. Certainly Triple H is kind of a pseudo-face. Now here Rollins a face fully. And then all these people marching. He has that moment. He's like, I can't believe this is happening. This is so great. And then all these people come marching out to challenge him. Overall, I liked this segment, but I also felt like I wanted Rollins to have a little back and forth with each person. Yeah. And I didn't feel it was like one right after the other. And I'm like, okay, great. This is a way of marching all down the candidates, but have them back and forth. Test Rollins out against these guys.
It's very formulaic. It's something they do a lot, where when they've got a bunch of new people, they want to let you know that all these people are here. They trot them all out like you didn't already know they were all there.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So I agree with you in that regard. I would have liked to have seen more interaction between Seth Rollins and all those guys, and just let's see who you want to see him paired up against. Right.
How the fans react to it, and then what kind of promo program do you think these guys will have or have chemistry with? So
that's how I felt while watching it as well. I hate when they make Rollins and Triple H buddies again. Yeah. It really bothers me. It's we've been watching this whole saga. Why are they suddenly friendly with each other? Why does Seth Rollins care that Triple H is saying positive things about him? He is the Beast Slayer, the King Slayer or whatever.
King Slayer, right.
It's his whole thing, he took down all these people, and I don't understand why he gets this twinkle in his eye when Triple H says stuff to him. It's you're supposed to hate that guy. That guy messed everything up. That's why you're a face right now. When you get the twinkle in your eye, it looks like you want to be a heel still, and that you wish you were still Triple H's BFF.
Yeah, right. I know. That was surprising too, because I'm just well, what is was this a creative decision? Why does Triple H even need to be out there? It made no sense overall for him to be out there
I felt the same way. I was like, why is he even there?
Yeah.
What is the point of this?
Sometimes I wonder with Stephanie and Triple H that they need that shine. They need to be out there in that ring so they have creative write it in. It can't just be Vince going, you're going to march out there with him. I think they want to still stay connected to the fans and be kind of out there and feel that glow again, And so I think that's what happened here. And it's weird. It is weird because they've never been buddy, other than when they were both heels.
Yeah, except for when they were both bad guys.
Which I really enjoyed when he was a heel.
Me
It was
too.
fantastic. So this is all kind of weird. But then you have these, Joe comes out, before he could even get into it, Ray interrupts and comes out. Before Ray can get into it, McIntyre comes out, then Corbin, and then AJ Styles. I think that's everybody.
Sounds right.
And then Miz, who comes out, which is, but it just, look, these triple threat matches were great, but the setup of them walking in, I thought, like you said, formulaic, kind of boring, and then in the long run, I didn't feel hyped for these triple threat matches coming down the road because they almost seemed I know they're scripted, but it almost seemed you knew what was going to happen.
Yes.
And it was damn it. All right.
And we'll get into it later, but I feel like they went with I feel like they rushed into AJ Styles, and you knew they were going to, but they really rushed into that.
Yeah.
This is not the best way to build up to Seth versus AJ. That's like the money match. That's like a big one. That's like the one that you want to build AJ on Raw for a few months before we finally have him go up against the man. Well, I guess I shouldn't say the man. That's Becky Lynch, but you know what I mean.
I just don't know who's got the shine as a heel that's going to excite the fans that Rollins would fight.
I felt that exactly while watching this.
Right? Like Samoa's great, but Samoa's gotten beaten so many times over the last few months.
He's also the U.S. champion, so you know he's not going to be in a world title program.
Right.
Miz is not there as a face or as a face yet.
Yeah.
Baron Corbin, no,
because it's so boring.
Just like not for the main event.
Right. And McIntyre either is not back up to that place where he excites the fans. Not just yet. I think he's getting back up there, but he's not quite there.
Fair. I mean, he's the only one, in my opinion, of all those people that believably could be in that position. I mean, obviously AJ Styles makes sense too, but as a top heel, I mean, Drew McIntyre makes the most sense, but at the same time, it's just not. He needs to build back up a little bit. Yeah. After losing.
And maybe this is a heel turn for AJ. Maybe like you were mentioning the thing you were mentioning this and all that. Maybe this is him putting the club back together on the Raw side of things and goes on a little bit of a heel run because he doesn't like being on Raw.
He's too much of a merch
Smackdown
pusher.
Guy.
He's too much of a merch pusher. Right. They're not going to turn AJ Styles.
I hate that shit.
He sells way too much merch. They're not going to. Yeah, he's like one of the top ones.
Yeah. I liked Ray's new shirt. I like that new. I might look at that one.
I liked Ray. In general, Ray looked great in his match last night. That three-way.
Yeah, let's talk about
badass.
it. AJ Styles, Ray, and Samoa Joe.
It was very much like a indie, not even, I shouldn't say indie, it was like a wrestling fan's dream match. Yeah. You know, like that's a good three-way right there. Mm-hmm. I mean, those are three really talented dudes, and they really all brought it out. I mean, obviously, AJ Styles and Samoa Joe, they know each other so well.
Yeah.
They're never going to have bad matches, you know. Right. But throwing Rey Mysterio into the mix and having him do all his impressive things really did help the match a lot. I think that
little spin move he did in midair with AJ, I was like, holy Mary, mother of God.
Samoa Joe, you mean?
No, Ray, when he did this, because he was he got up there and then they spun in a full 360. I was like, how do you do that at 44 years old?
I was thinking when he did when he flung himself out of the ring and did a full twisty thing or whatever, and then Joe still tossed him. It looked awesome. There's a lot of really cool moments in that match. There were. Especially the finish.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that finish was awesome.
It was brutal finish.
Yeah.
It was surprisingly brutal finish.
I mean, the powerbomb onto Samoa Joe into a Styles Clash, that was brutal.
That feels like a heel move. I'm just saying.
No.
I'm just saying.
I don't see any. I don't think that's possible in the slightest bit. They've got so many heels on Raw. They don't need to turn AJ Styles. I mean, he's making
you need a good heel.
Is he?
You need a good heel. I like
when
him
has AJ ever been a good heel?
You don't like AJ as a heel?
When have you liked him as a heel?
When he first came through, wasn't he a heel when he first came through with Smackdown or anything like that?
Not that I recall.
Well, the main event Mafia, was he part of that?
No, but he was in Fortune, and
Fortune.
And in Fortune he was terrible as a heel. I never want to see that heel version again. If there's one thing I remember about AJ Styles, that he was a terrible heel.
Short hair AJ Styles.
Yeah, that's when he had the bleach blonde, and he was trying to be the Ric Flair impersonator. Heel AJ is the worst, so I hope that's not in the cards.
All right, fair enough. He always walks that line, though. He comes close. But yeah, this was
I guess in Bullet Club he was kind of the heel, but even then, I don't think it's fair to have called him a heel in Bullet Club.
But Ensemble heel is easier than solo heel, right?
Very much so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this was a good, fun, excellent match. I mean, you can, in your mind, 7 years ago, this match would have been even more insane.
Totally, absolutely.
Yeah, right? That's a main event of a pay-per-view.
I was thinking, even while I was watching it, it was very reminiscent of the Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels match, but you swap in AJ Styles or Christopher Daniels for Rey Mysterio. So
yep. Those are great matches.
But yeah, I really like this match. It was definitely the highlight of the show.
Yeah, agreed. Styles ends up winning this thing, so lined up like you thought. And then we had the Iconics come out. They had a banter coming down the ramp. I thought their banter was a little.
It was the worst one they've ever done.
Thank you. I don't want to be too harsh on them because I'm always harsh on them because I want to give them credit, but this was terrible.
It was by far the worst Iconics promo I have ever seen, and I can't believe that even Corey Graves on commentary said, who wrote that?
Yeah.
When they were done talking, I was like, whoa. I mean, there was zero heat from the crowd.
Yeah.
There was zero response.
The crowd was apathetic.
I might have been 6 feeling, I was rewatching it again this morning because I was writing something when it happened last night. But even this morning, I was watching it thinking what is this?
Yeah.
What are they, what? who wrote this? So the way, I mean, Corey Graves nailed it. It was like, who wrote this?
Yeah. It's mind-blowing to me what they're doing to them. Yes, they're being good soldiers and taking the losses, but these are your tag team champs. These are your tag team. Why did you put the belts on them if you're just going to have them constantly losing on all the Smackdowns and Raws from Mania? It just doesn't make sense to me at all.
It is silly to have them continually lose.
Right?
You know? Yeah.
And it was quick. Billy Kay's loss was quick.
They got buried on this one. It was like a 2-minute match. I know. They did, though. They did.
All right, fair enough.
They did. I mean, this whole segment buried them hardcore. I mean, that terrible promo to the 2-second match. Like, I was like, these are your tag team champions.
Yeah.
Like, why would you... Like,
and this whole thing afterwards, her trying to simulate, hey, I know I had my shoulder up, all this bullshit. It was just a waste of time.
It really was. I wasn't... And look, I love the Iconics, but I was super not feeling this segment. I was like, what? Like, losing so fast, terrible promo... I don't know. I didn't.
If you take away their promos away from them, they have nothing. In my opinion, they have nothing else. So it's like this is a dangerous road to be walking down with the Iconics because yes, people were happy that they won it, but if you're not going to keep them going in some way, shape, or form, where they're pulling off incredible matches or winning these things like you did with Carmella, turned her around after she had lost the belts, then I think you're in danger of completely losing all the attention for the Iconics to a degree and putting them all the way back down to the B team like they, don't forget the B team were tag team champs as well.
When you just said that, I thought that in my head. I was like, God, they were tag team champions.
Right? Where are they now? All right. So then the next was a triple threat. So I don't know. Naomi getting a push is nice.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy to see Naomi getting a push, but I hated the segment altogether. I mean, I liked Naomi getting a moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, all around bad segment.
And one last thing, and I need to say this about. Once again, I'm walking the line. I get a little dangerous. I know. I get some guff from the fans, but I really think Renee Young needs to be removed from color commentary. I absolutely do not like her doing it. I think she should host the goddamn show. Move Michael Cole out. Michael Cole is old. Michael Cole started using terms that 16-year-olds used last night, and it was upsetting to me. And I'm like, this is not what a 50-year-old man should be saying on the air. And I'm like, let Renee do it. Renee is doing her best, but Renee's not built to be a color person. Oh, no! What is that? Oh, she wasn't feeling the glow. It's like you're just like, oh, it's just annoying. You're better than this. Let her lead the show. It's
she's not going to lead the show when Michael Cole leaves, though. It's going to be Tom. It's going to be Tom Phillips.
That's stupid.
Why?
She's so good at it. She would.
You're
be
literally
great
saying how
at
much.
it.
You don't know that.
I know.
You don't know that.
It's my job to know these things because I do this as an announcer, as a pundit, as a person who talks on camera. I know Renee. When I've seen Renee host things, Renee is really good. And when she's allowed to just be herself and like have a wide berth, she kicks ass. And Corey and her can work well off of each other if they have the guts to do this. I think they should. They probably won't, but I think they should. And this is as close as they're going to get is giving her this spot here.
I mean, I say Tom Phillips only because Tom Phillips is training her and he trains people. So I mean, obviously the guy who's training people is probably the one that they've bookmarked for that position as opposed to the one who's being trained.
I guess.
So that's how I look at it, at least. And I don't think Michael Cole's terrible at all. I like Michael Cole.
It's not that it's terrible. I'm just saying we've done it already, right? Michael Cole's now in the JR spot where Michael Cole was saying JR was doing it for too long. And
but I was of the belief back then that it was stupid to say that about JR.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You didn't like that whole angle?
No, I mean, I get it. Like, I think it's silly to I don't know, his commentary is not bad. If anything, his commentary is really good, especially when Vince is not around. Like when you hear him on the specials when Vince is not in his ear, he's it's like night and day. So it's more so because just Vince it's raw. It's just it's funny. I've been watching old Superstars just because they're on the network now, and Vince is the same way on commentary. He very much.
Oh no, it's all promo. It's all
pushing
promotion.
Promo. Like Vince is heavy.
Yeah.
Promo even in the 80s. So I was funny or 90s.
Yeah.
I was thinking wow, it's interesting. Like everyone,
it's a style.
But I was like, Vince has been doing this since the 90s.
Yeah,
so who cares? I don't have a problem with Michael Cole on commentary.
Okay,
I like him.
All right. Miz, Drew McIntyre, Baron Corbin next up with that triple threat match. This was boring. This was not as good as before. These guys had no chemistry with each other.
Well, the problem is like I've been saying about Miz this whole time, is Miz is not a strong face yet. I'm sorry. Yeah. I don't care how much you want to push him as one. Yeah. He hasn't done nothing to portray the fact that he is a good guy.
Yeah.
So I get it. He's got a dad and he loves his dad. We discussed this already. But I just feel like Baron Corbin and Drew McIntyre are also heels. It was literally like we were watching 3 heels.
Yeah.
And 2 of those heels have been running together for a while. We literally watched them wrestle in a tag match together on Sundays. So I had a really hard time getting into this match.
Yeah,
I hated the finish.
Yeah, the finish was weird. It was like when you play in the video game, the triple threat, and you roll the other dude out of the ring after you do the finisher, and you get the pin. It was boring. It was that's how Corbin's going to win. I get it. Corbin's supposed to be a crafty heel and do whatever and roll in there. But I also think it would have been nice to see McIntyre versus AJ Styles. That would have been a more exciting match, I think, at the end of the night than Corbin and AJ. That's a preconceived match. You know who's going to win that one.
I assume they didn't because they're saving that.
Maybe.
Because I think that is also a money match. I think that's like.
But you could also lay the groundwork for down the road for that program or whatever with one match.
True.
You know.
True.
You get the taste. That's what I said.
A little palate cleanser.
Yeah, a little something. All right, Sami Zayn comes out, addresses the WWE Universe. I thought this was a good promo as well. It's pretty standard for what he's been doing recently. The lying down at the end and cackling and laughing, that was really funny. They're letting Sami do what he wants to do with this, and it's working. I think it's working overall. But it's got to lead to something. So I wonder who is going to interrupt him, who is going to come in, who is going to start this with him.
Who's going to say he loves the wrestling fans.
And loves the WWE Universe and blah, blah, blah. Who's it going to be? I wonder.
It's a good question. I don't know.
Is Miz a possibility? Would this get him over as a face, him and Zayn? I think the chemistry would be great between them.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Maybe like a Ricochet.
Yeah, okay.
Ricochet needs something to do now that Aleister Black. I'm not always the big
fan of Ricochet on the mic, but all right.
Fair.
Yeah.
But it could be the thing that he needs to kind of start talking. He hasn't talked at all yet.
No, it's true. He hasn't talked at all.
He hasn't said anything. Like, he said one thing his first night, and that's it.
I think they realized, just let him do wrestling.
It's possible. It's possible. Oh, my God. Those sound effects.
Did they keep adding more?
They added more last night. I couldn't believe it. As if it wasn't ridiculous enough the first time, they added more for when he lifts up his hood. It's like as he lifts up his hood. Oh, I was just dying. I was like, did they seriously add another one? But yeah, I liked. It's funny. I had the exact same feeling as you while watching this. That like, I have enjoyed Sami Zayn's new thing.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed it very much. I think that it's clearly coming from the heart. I'm just wondering where it goes.
Yeah.
Because I mean, in theory, you could do this for I don't know, a couple more weeks.
Yeah,
but then it's gonna get old.
Yeah, and then eventually someone's gonna want to. You gotta let because then fans are gonna be like, okay, great, here's another promo, making fun of us. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, or I'm gonna go get beer or buy merch.
Yeah,
this is the time to go. And so I think you've got to have something where somebody comes out and challenges him about it. I guess Ricochet is a possibility.
Ricochet just made the most sense because he's not doing anything.
True.
Like what's he doing now? What did he do last night? What was he involved in last night?
He lost.
I guess. Actually, I guess he's involved in Robert Roode, which we'll get into that. But overall though, I think this is a good thing for Sami Zayn. I think he needs the change.
Yeah.
And I am intrigued to see where it goes.
Yeah.
So
also, I want to go on vacation with Sami because Sami looks like he's having the best time wherever he goes.
He really was happy
those
in all
pictures
those
are
vacation
very
spots.
happy.
He definitely made me want to go on vacation. I was like, man,
for sure.
Sami Zayn just going on vacation. I'm jealous.
Wrapped up in that a hammock, and he's just like
that was the cutest, little most adorable Sami Zayn picture.
All right, we'll see what happens. We'll see. There are some faces who are kind of roaming around on Raw who might need a program here with Zayn, so we'll see if that goes down. Cedric Alexander took on Cesaro here. This was a curious match. This felt like Mustafa Ali all over again, but with Cedric.
So. Yep.
But then they gave Cesaro the win, which is kind of surprising as well. And Cesaro is now on Raw.
Yes.
So did they break up the bar?
It looks that way.
God damn. Son.
I know. I like them now too. I know. Like I was into the bar now.
Yeah.
Now I'm like. Oh, I like the bar though.
Yeah, the bar is great. So
I guess like when it's like, I'm also of the belief that like, it's such a waste when you don't have. And I guess the Cesaro Sheamus feud wasn't like that awesome.
No,
but I always feel like there should be a breakup if there's gonna be a breakup.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there should be a conversation.
Yeah, or something not instead of us guessing if it's a breakup.
Yeah,
I mean, it's also possible that Sheamus, because of I guess he's dealing with an injury.
Yeah,
it's also possible that they are just
Well, we'll give him a push. We'll take the time and give Cesaro a push.
And that when he's okay, they'll redo the bar.
Yeah.
That's why they didn't like make a big deal of the bar being broken up, so to speak.
I'd like the bar to come back on Raw. The bar could be fun on Raw.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? There's a lot of good tag teams on Raw. The bar could have a great programs with.
Yeah, I like the bar. So I hope that they are not done forever.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. This match, like it was a good match, and I was excited to see that these two were going to wrestle each other, but they both need the win.
Yeah.
So that was my problem with it.
I don't think Cesaro needs the win as much as a new person coming in like Cedric Alexander.
He's getting a new singles push.
Yeah, I guess, but like, it's Cedric Alexander. This guy was a champion very recently.
So was Cesaro.
Yeah, but it's tag teams
and
different than
it's the
singles.
champion.
Yeah, well, all right.
You know,
that's fair.
I just think that Cesaro, if Cesaro had lost, it would have put him in a certain category that would have kept him in the mid card, basically.
Okay.
If he'd lost, he'd have been a mid carder. I think him winning here, even though Cedric Alexander is not some sort of like huge feat to tackle.
Yeah.
I do believe that it shows that like there's hope that maybe Cesaro can be a singles competitor, because every time they've made Cesaro a singles competitor, they give up real fast and put him in a tag team.
Even though the fans love him, they give up on him too early.
And all his tag teams have gotten over.
Yeah. He's good.
The Real Americans. There was him and Tyson Kidd.
Tyson Kidd was good.
The Bar.
Obviously.
So all those tag teams got over.
Yeah.
And so I would like to see them give Cesaro a serious singles push.
Yeah.
It's just like they never do for some reason. So this at least gave me hope in that regard, where I was like, maybe Cesaro singles push.
And don't be having him going up and asking to be part of matches. Like don't undercut him like that. If he's supposed to be this bad, if he's the Swiss Superman, the Swiss Superman doesn't go, hey guys, can I join your team? The Swiss Superman is like, hey, we'd like you to join our team, please, Swiss Superman. Think about it.
Yeah.
That's where he needs to be.
Agreed.
And if you're going to push him that way, you got to make him feel this way and present him this way, so the fans are like, oh, this is how we need to look at him now.
I completely agree with you in that regard. I think that he definitely needs to be taken more seriously if they're going to make him a serious competitor, for sure.
This was a fine match, absolutely. I thought Cedric at times was a bit slow on certain moves. I was surprised by that.
It was very like grounded. Like Cesaro definitely grounded him the whole time.
That's what I mean.
Which was not the best way to like promote Cedric Alexander as this new exciting talent coming to Raw.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it did make Cesaro seem like a smart wrestler too.
Sure.
So
we'll see how if he gets the Mustafa Ali push Cedric Alexander does, and we'll see how that plays out.
I think he will.
Yeah,
I think he will.
We'll see how the fans respond. The fans got to respond positively.
True.
Then we had Lucha House Party take on the newly crowned Viking Raiders. Now apparently,
I love that they already changed it.
Every week they should just change it. Every week. The Viking this, the Viking that, the Viking whatever, and every week it should just change. Because
you're not the only person who has said that they should just change it every week now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. My friends said the same thing in our group chat. They were like, every week they should just unexplainably, they just with no explanation call them a different name every week. But as someone who used to have to give a nickname to his co-host every week on Wrestling Sheet Radio, it gets tiring.
I'm sure it does.
It really does. I used to do new nicknames for Kevin every week. It got too much.
Dude, after 3 months, I can't imagine.
It was like over a year.
Oh, what?
Maybe 2 years of doing the show before I finally gave up on it.
I couldn't have done that.
I just couldn't do it.
Nope.
Well, I wanted to get, we used to call him the man of 1004 nicknames.
Oh.
And I wanted to get to a 1004 nicknames before I stopped. But that is so many nicknames.
It is.
I don't even know how high we got, but it was nowhere near 1004.
And also nicknames have to come up organically.
You're telling me.
Yeah. You shouldn't have put a time frame on it. 1004 nicknames at some point down the road.
True.
So they absolutely destroyed Lucha House Party here. I don't know what this does other than promote Viking as Viking Raiders, Viking whatever, as a difficult thing. And they still said Viking Experience.
Well, for their finisher.
Corey Graves. Oh,
their finisher is called the Viking Experience. They gave him a new finisher and called it the Viking Experience. I laughed at that too. I was like, okay, we get it. You had to keep that name in there somehow. We get it. We get it, WWE.
We're not giving in. We're not admitting we're wrong. We're just moving it
Still a cool name, so we're going to keep it for their finishing move.
It's the best name ever of a tag team.
I just, I don't know if this is me being sick, so I'm more negative than usually while watching the show, but like...
You said you liked it, so I don't think
the grunting was weird to me. It was like I get
Oh,
it.
the
You're
grunting.
I get it. You're bad guys. But it was just like they were like grunting like they were cavemen the whole time, and it was like.
Oh, interesting.
I was like, okay, I get it. You guys are Vikings. We get it. Like, you know, like just like Ricochet and his bing, 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 bing. You know, like we get it. It's a Ricochet. We get it. You know.
I can't wait till he comes out and he goes.
It's going to happen eventually.
Right?
It's going to happen eventually.
Yeah.
I wouldn't bet money on it. It's going to happen. Bet money against it. Nothing really was gained out of this except for letting WWE, the fans know that their complaining worked.
Yeah.
Slightly. Because they still kept it for the finishing move.
Yeah, the Viking experience.
I was happy they changed the name back. Mm-hmm. Well, back, I guess not back. They changed it to be more similar. A good compromise.
Well, I just think this stuff is dumb now, man.
Me too.
I think it's been so many decades of seeing the same kind of stuff, and I get it. You're going, formula works, but like, we're tired of this. I think as fans, we demand more because we become more nuanced as fans. As we see more content on the WWE network, you also have to take responsibility for that. And people can go back and see you repeating the same beats over and over and over again with multiple different wrestlers in multiple decades. And it's like, well, what's the new thing? Why do they have to get squashed? Have a Lucha House Party fight back and do some inventive moves. See how the Viking Raiders or whatever they're called, like what it's like when they're fighting some new style, how they have to adapt. See them getting like frustrated. They can't figure it out. Maybe there's a little division in the team, and then they come together, figure it out, take care of business, and finish this off. That's more interesting to me than boom, over. And because you also kill Lucha House Party, and these guys are fucking luchador wrestlers. They're used to fighting bigger dudes than frickin' the Viking Raiders or all the time, and they're used to flying all around the ring and handling everything that they can handle. So, and they're tough as nails. If you go down there and see that shit for real in Mexico or wherever, they're tough as nails. So to me, I hate when they do shit like this. It's like old stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate squash matches.
I know you like them. I think
squash matches are helpful. I think that squash matches, for me.
I mean, when Lars done, I'm okay with. Matches, I'm not okay with.
Yeah, for me, I'm okay with it. Like at least when you're trying to get a new talent over, because I feel like, in my opinion at least, like there's like three really important things to get a wrestler over. Mm-hmm. It's their name, their finishing move, and like just kind of like their signature moves in general. Like that's how people. They're like, oh, cool name, cool look, cool move, into it, And if you don't have those three things, I feel like people aren't into you. So I sometimes feel like you need to establish that you have those things. You've got a cool name, you've got cool moves, and you've got a cool finisher. Like that to me is important. So I don't need a 20-minute match to get that across, especially on Raw. Especially on Raw. I feel like on Raw, just give it to me. Just give me the quickness. And I know that I said
on a 3-hour show.
Yeah, it's for not every match, but like. Yeah. I'm okay with some squash matches.
Okay. I'm not. I'm just so over them. I hate them because these are all supposedly professional wrestlers. If they're professional wrestlers, we should see some level of quality in their matches. And to me, I agree with you. The look and the name are important. Wrestling ability in the ring, to me, is the third component here. That gets you over with the fans.
Fair.
Fans love to watch wrestlers, and especially people like luchadors. They have great style. You got to give them some shots. All right. Well, speaking of somebody who has great mic skills and in-ring skills and a good look, that's Becky Lynch coming out here doing her promo. Brian is hanging on by the thread. You're doing your best, man. Becky Lynch coming in doing the promo, hitting the beats like she's doing. I thought this was a better face promo than I've seen her doing a bit.
Yeah.
And I like that she's not necessarily talking about knocking heads off or lopping heads off or whatever. She does eventually get to it with Lacey.
I was going to say, she did say that eventually.
She did. Eventually she got there with Lacey, and then Lacey comes out. They have their back and forth. I'm still not over with Lacey. I'm just not. I didn't like her in NXT. I don't like what they're doing with her here, but the woman's right was clumsy. The first one she delivered was clumsy after the Alicia Fox match. Alicia Fox got beat by Becky, but she came close to pinning Becky, which was nice. See, it doesn't have to be a squash match.
See, I hated
came close to Becky. Oh, really?
Yeah, I hated the fact that they gave Alicia Fox so much offense.
Wow. Okay.
It made no sense.
I like Alicia. She's a former champion.
I know that, but she doesn't. She's not treated as such. And in my opinion, it was like, really? Like, Becky Lynch just beat Ronda Rousey and Charlotte at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And you're giving Alicia Fox as much offense as those people did against her? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. You think that makes sense?
Yeah, I liked it. I like when Alicia gets a little bit of shine. But that's because I think Alicia's like you say with the Iconics, Alicia's done everything for that company.
Oh, I think Alicia's a great wrestler.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We've talked about her. Yeah, the wins and losses, whatever. So if they give her a little bit of time in the ring, I'm okay with this. If this had been Dana Brooke, maybe I'd had a little issue with it. But with Alicia, Alicia's wily. Alicia's crafty. Alicia's like, she can come close to winning certain matches, and it's believable to me. But when Lacey,
it's believable to you, and Alicia Fox is almost going to win?
Yes.
I love Alicia Fox, but
she's okay. Isn't she a two-time champion?
But when's the last time Alicia Fox won anything?
I don't know. I don't have it in front of me.
It's been a long time.
But I think Lacey's still figuring it out, and I thought the first punch. You just stood over her, so it's not really as effective. The second punch was great. So, okay, kudos to Becky for putting Lacey over, taking the woman's right there. This is an interesting back and forth between the man versus woman teaching the man. This is a fascinating program to have two women play out, and I'm curious to see how this goes. I hope Lacey and her have a good match. I want to like Lacey.
I feel like they're going to have a good match.
Yeah?
I'm into this feud. I'm into it.
Yeah, I want to like her more than I do.
Yeah, no, I like Lacey Evans. I think that this segment wasn't like that strong in my opinion.
Yes, agreed.
But it was still, it wasn't bad or anything like that.
Their first segment was good. The previous one.
Yeah, and it still got me in the mood to see them go up against each other. So yeah. I'm into it.
Okay. All right. Do you see a possibility of her beating Becky this early?
I do.
Oh, Jesus.
I do. I said that kind of quietly. I do fear that they might give Lacey the title and have just Becky be the champion on SmackDown. Wouldn't surprise me.
All right, let's move on. No. Ricochet and Bobby Roode going at it. Robert Roode with the 70s porn mustache. Very uncomfortable. As if his shorts weren't tight enough. Now you throw the mustache in there. It makes me very uncomfortable. They go at it here. And for some damn reason, Ricochet takes the loss. He had been unbeatable for so long. And all of a sudden, in like a short match, he loses to Roode.
It made no sense whatsoever. And it's funny because it's one of those situations where you go like, well, everyone's been saying, push Bobby Roode as a heel. Push him as a heel. Well, not over Ricochet. We all love Ricochet. That's not what we were meant. Right. Like that was funny. That was what I was thinking while I was watching. I was like, no, that's the last person we wanted to see Ricochet or see Bobby Roode beat. Robert Roode,
right.
And it's just weird. It's one of those situations where it's like, what was the point of that name change?
Yeah.
What was the point? There's no difference. Make him change the mustache, whatever. Put the mustache on, but what's the difference? What is the difference? He's in video games. We've seen him for so long now.
We have.
Why?
Well, people wanted him to get a heel push.
But why?
But why in this form is what you're saying?
Why do you have to change his name from Bobby to Robert?
Because now he's serious. It's not Larry Fishburne anymore. It's Lawrence. And that's how it goes, right? That's how it is.
When I was thinking, yes, happy to see him getting a push.
Yeah.
Happy to see him as a heel getting a push. I was just like, but not at the expense of Ricochet. He's been on a winning streak. He's been so over since getting on the main roster.
And also, if you're going to showcase this new Robert Roode and get people back on board with him, give him a long match. Give him a match where he can show what he can do. That's okay. It was okay. I just wanted something a little more knockdown, drag out between the both of them, and it didn't quite get there. Or have him win in a way that's sneaky as a heel.
That was my problem. I felt like it should have been a sneakier win. You're trying to get over the fact that Robert Roode is this dastardly heel now, with a shitty with a porn mustache. And
even Corey was getting him over by being like, well, he made the mistake of coming here and wanting the love of the fans, and he lost himself. Now he doesn't care anymore, and now he's really focused. And I was like, all right.
But they should have done the heel win. They should have had a heel. They should have. I agree with you in that regard. Yeah, it should have been a cheap victory.
That way you don't take the shine off of Ricochet too much, and you reinforce the fact that Robert is doing whatever he can to win.
And you give Ricochet a reason to want revenge.
Yes, good point. Right, and then encourage a better match. In the future. All right, let's get to the big event from last night.
This is the real reason I came in today. To be honest with you,
all right.
This is the thing we had to discuss.
All right, all the appetizers are done. Let's get to the main meal, and that is the Firefly Funhouse. What in the Mary Mother of God is this? Bray Wyatt coming in, simulating being a host of a kid show, complete with terrible dubs of children going ooh or ah or clapping, weird creatures. All of this, the buzzard, the witch, all of it was very strange. Him cutting his old self in half with a chainsaw. Obviously, this is leading to something. Was it heel or whatever he said?
Yeah, one hand said hurt, one hand said heel.
Yeah. So all of what is this all leading to? There have been allusions all on social media for the last few months of him changing or doing whatever. What are your thoughts, Ryan Satin?
Okay, well, first of all, I loved it.
You did.
I loved it.
Okay.
I felt like it was such out of the box thinking. I felt like it was.
Did it feel like Hardy?
To Hardy?
Did it feel like Hardy, that kind of vibe when Hardy first started doing those weird vignettes over at TNA?
It's hard to say because the Hardy
Or
thing
Impact.
was so much more organic, where it was like much more internet weird things that kind of manifested into that character. So it's kind of hard to compare them. But I do feel like it was, sometimes I feel like we are treated, because it is for children, the show.
Right.
So I feel like we don't get like complex stories being told sometimes because they do have to cater to everyone, you know? And to me, this was like some deeply layered stuff. Like there was a lot going on here. I feel like, we've seen these vignettes the past couple weeks. And they weren't happy. Right. They were sad. Yeah. There was that weird buzzard who was coughing, Mercy. There was the witch who while writing it, I didn't even realize. I think she said her name was Abby.
Oh, so like Abigail.
Like Abigail.
Sister Abigail,
which I didn't realize. I thought it was saying
I had
Happy.
a feeling that would be connected.
So did I, but then I thought she said her name was Happy the Witch, and I was confused. And then I re-listened. I couldn't make it out. Abby the Witch makes much more sense. I really liked, like I was saying, the complex nature of it, because I feel like there's a lot more going on here than we realize. I think that, we saw these scary vignettes, but then when Bray was around, now they're happy. Yeah. And it reminded me very much of, remember the old Twilight Zone movie? From like the 90s.
Sure, from the 80s.
The 80s with Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, Dan Aykroyd,
remember like there was that one they did where it's like the kid who's fucking crazy?
Yeah, it turns into Jack in the Boxes or whatever. Yeah.
It was very reminiscent of that to me, because there's even,
I respect that.
Wasn't there even a bunny in that too? And we didn't see who the bunny was. But if you notice, we didn't see the bunny. Yeah, in this But the bunny was one of the characters in the thing. And I'm guessing that that's maybe who he was talking to when he had to hurt or heal hands or whatever. But yeah, that was what I really liked about it, was that it felt like there was a lot going on. Because I feel like, that one glimpse we had when he put his hands up and it showed the hurt and heal, that's the new Bray Wyatt. That's where this is all gonna lead to. But if we'll get some like weird tripped out stuff to get to there, I'm into that. I'm really into that.
I think when you make this kind of a radical change in your character, you immediately put yourself up on a very, very high tightrope. Yeah. And every one of these sketches has to work for the most part, right? They don't all have to knock it out of the park, but they have to work for the most part so that you keep the fans coming back and their curiosity coming back to see what you've got next. Now, that was the key to Matt Hardy's thing. It was so out there that people were like, how long or how far out are they going to let him go? And he kept going further and further, and you're just like, and then after a while, you can't help yourself but look forward to seeing what he does next. And I wonder if they'll do the same thing here. It's very limited for a first one, so I want to see how far out this is going to go. And he shouldn't be in a wrestling ring for a while as he builds this up.
Totally. Yeah? Yeah, completely agree with you in that regard. I think that they definitely need to establish whatever's going on here, but they could drag this out for a while. Yes, they could drag this out for a very long time, and I'd be cool with it, because I think that like if you make him like new school horror Pee Wee Herman, it's kind of cool, to be honest with you. It's kind of different. It's kind of out there.
Horror is certainly the flavor of the day. Other than superhero movies, horror films are killing it at the box office. So if you bring this out, which has always been there with Bray, the feeling of horror, the southern stuck in a swamp gonna die kind of horror, you've got that vibe to him already. If you start adding this crazy other side of dual personality where anything can happen at any moment, then you excite the fan base, hopefully.
I feel like I also feel like we don't really get horror in wrestling very often.
No.
Like,
Papa Shango.
The Matt Hardy stuff wasn't like horror.
No.
It was very much like B movie, but it wasn't like a horror B movie. Like, maybe a little, but it was very much like Rocky Horror Picture Show for wrestling. This feels like a horror thing, like some weird horror stuff we're about to get, and I'm like, I'm pretty into that idea. I think that, it seems to me like the whole hurt and heal thing.
Yeah.
Like someone's talking to him.
Yeah.
Because he did that thing where he held his hand to his ear, and the hand that he held to his ear was the hand that said hurt, and then he said like, oh, okay, and then he hurt the image of himself.
Right.
So I'm assuming he's gonna have like a dual personality thing. Like we're gonna get split personality Bray Wyatt.
I was surprised they used his name though. I thought he was going to change his name too.
I kind of thought they were too.
Yeah.
I had that vibe going into it too. But you know what? I think Bray Wyatt is such an established character that it would have been silly. It would have felt like Robert Roode or whatever. It would have been kind of like, as it was, this whole thing is crazy, is weird.
Yes,
so
agreed.
Changing his name would have maybe made it a little even too weird. Turned too many people off. I think most of the reaction I saw was positive, though.
Yeah. People like Bray Wyatt for whatever reason that they think, because it hasn't always worked for him. But this was the most he looked like Bo Dallas that I've ever seen.
I saw a lot of people saying that.
Right? Oh, did you? Okay,
yeah. Well, a lot of people.
It's just so obvious.
Just because he's so buff now.
Yeah.
And he's like not like the bigger dude. He's like a buff dude now. So I think that and the ponytail too. It made it look very much like Bo Dallas.
This could be something for the B team.
I was hoping
He converts them both.
I wouldn't be surprised too if maybe Nikki Cross is involved in this.
Oh yeah.
And that's why they haven't said anything about what brand she's on.
Shit, Nikki would be great.
Because it was Raw.
Yeah, you're right. It was Raw. Nikki would be great on this. And they kind of promoted her, I think, on the WWE the other day. Like, who is Nikki going to fight? Ha ha, he, he, whatever, on their social media. So they want to keep her out there. So, yeah, that could work. Absolutely. All right, well, we're going to see what happens with this funhouse as we go along. Maybe even Paul Rubens, who's been on WWE before, maybe he'll do a visit to this and promote it as Pee Wee Herman even more. AJ Styles took on Baron Corbin to end the night. This was the result of the 2 triple threat matches. These were the 2 winners. Decent match, and in the end, AJ does his business and finishes it out. Rollins comes in. They have a moment of stare down. And then eventually they shake hands, and that's how it ends. This is face versus face. So you talked about this idea of who's heel, who's face. This feels, once again, face versus face.
I just, like I was saying earlier, I just feel like AJ Styles should have gotten like I guess I shouldn't say a push, but like should have been made to feel more important on Raw first. Like I just feel
he's
like
fighting for the title.
I know, but I mean like before
you
he
mean
gets
establish
that
him on Raw first?
Yeah, I don't feel like he's established enough for that.
Oh, I got you what you're saying. I got what you're saying.
Like I just feel like cool, we get it, dream match. But how often? I mean, WWE is starting to go to that well too often of like dream match,
fan service.
I'm sorry, but like I love wrestling. I like both of those guys, their skill. But give me a story. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. There's so many pay-per-views back to back that it's harder to do that. But like, just like, oh, AJ won a match his first night on Raw, and now he's #1 contender. It's like, that was so fast and so
Lacey did the same thing, though. Lacey walked in, beat Natty, and now she's #1.
No, Lacey walked in and out for 3 months straight, just coming in and out. They at least established who she was first.
Everybody knows who AJ is.
Yeah, but like, I think there are a lot of people who only watch Raw.
Well, you've said that about your dad. Yeah, that he only watches Raw.
Yeah, so like to people
and
like
Christian
that
too. He only watches Raw. He doesn't watch SmackDown.
So like to people like that, I just think you need to establish this person a little more. Like I get it. We all know who AJ Styles is.
I think that's fair.
Still, I look at it.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. Give him a little bit of a run with some people, a little back forth, then have him earn his shot up there and see what he does. We'll see what happens with this match. I still think they're going to turn him heel. I can't let go of it yet. Maybe something will happen in this match that'll turn him heel. Maybe Gallows and Anderson will come down to help. Who knows? In some way, some form, how this might go down. And then you've got them running roughshod over Raw. We'll see. But you're right. It's a dream match, but I feel like there's something more they got to add to this because the spice isn't quite there. And I think Ryan's right. They haven't done enough to build up a story. So how invested are you as fans? Like,
how I look at it,
especially if you only watch Raw and you don't know AJ that well, you're really not that invested as well. You're like, who's this new guy?
Exactly.
So you want to see more of this. So we'll see as it goes along how they build it up. All right. Well, that's the recap for Raw. Overall, a good show. You did a great job, right? Overall, a good episode of Raw. But we'll see, because I like that they're, kind of bringing out all these people. We'll see where it goes with stuff. They said they're going to change stuff around, so we'll see where it goes. Ryan Satin, thanks so much for powering through this episode. Go home, get some sleep. But first, tell everybody where they can find.
Just ProWrestlingSheet.com. Just check it out. You're already watching on YouTube or listening to the audio. I don't have it in me. Goodbye.
Go to Wrestling Sheet. Great stuff being written there. And also, you can follow Ryan at Ryan Satin. You can follow Pro Wrestling Sheet at Wrestling Sheet. Follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram. Always appreciate the stuff this comment you leave for us, especially that one fan who keeps saying he's looking forward to our recaps. Really appreciate it. I like it every time. All the love you can give to the show is always great. And thanks for increasing the subscribers over the last few weeks. It's been great to see you guys slowly coming onto the train with us. Hopefully, someday we become the premier recap show for both of these shows, because we love doing them. So, and I love working with Ryan. So there you go.
That would be nice.
All right, Ryan, go get some sleep, go get some rest. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you tomorrow for an episode of the Smackdown Live recap here on the Wrestling Sheet.
Hopefully.
ProWrestlingSheet.com